Hey y'all. So, Spirit kept dropping something in my spirit that I need to speak about, and it's regarding the expansion video from the other day. Spirit said, I need to be clear about what shifting your mindset to become a magnet for your desires looks like. And one of those shifts has to do with lack and coming out of a lack mindset. So, the thing that Spirit has been speaking to me about is really highlighting what lack looks like, because a lot of times we may not recognize what lack looks like. I know when Spirit was dealing with me with regard to leaving a lack mindset and coming out of survival, Spirit had me look around at just how abundant I was with everything that I have and all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon me. And so in my own healing, I recognized the many ways that lack has shown up. And so sometimes we think about lack from a position of not having, a lack mindset from the position of not having. But there's also another side of lack too, where you have an abundance of items. You think about hoarders. Hoarders accumulate items because they're trying to make up for something that is missing. And even with rooms full of stuff, for them there's still something missing. And so that was one of the things that Spirit had to kind of teach me about, that you could still have a lack mindset even though you have an abundance around you, an abundance of items and things around you. So lack could look like holding on to things past their expiration. It could look like buying multiples of the very same item, and you may not have even used a fraction of one item, but yet you have five more. So lack can look like lack does not have to look like something that you don't have. Lack can also look like that lack mindset can also look like you holding on to things beyond their expiration, or just holding on to stuff that you're not going to use, stuff that you don't need, stuff that you haven't seen. We're in this space now of being able to receive the expansion that Spirit wants to give us, the expansion that we're walking into. But in order to get into that expansion mindset, that space of living like it until you can actually live it, in order to get into that space, I think it's important to take stock of your current place, your current space, the current environment that you're in. I'm certain someone who this video will run across, or someone who will run across this video, you have things that other people can find use of that you no longer use. For instance, we have, like, my hair is locked now, right? I don't use a comb or a brush at all, but I have abundance of combs and brushes. No one in my house uses combs or brushes, but yet I have them. Those combs and brushes can be donated. They can be, even just thrown away. But yet I realize I still have them. Something very, very trivial. I don't have anything with me, but I wear contacts. I have an abundance of contact cases. I don't need them all. At max, I might need 3. One for the house, one for the house, and one for vacation, and one for spare. At max. What I'm saying is, Spirit had me create this video or do this video, this message, because someone needs to get a better understanding that coming out of lack, well, really what lack mindset looks like, and why you've been in that space, why you may still be in that space, why you may be struggling coming out of that space. It's because you don't have a full understanding of what lack is. Again, lack does not mean that lack mindset does not mean that you don't have. The lack mindset could be you accumulating or holding on to things that you don't necessarily need because one day I might use it. That's a lack mindset. As if when you actually need it, you won't be able to purchase it. So you hold on to it, even though it expired. How many of us have a what do they call those? A junk drawer. And in your junk drawer, you got stuff that you ain't seen it, you ain't touched it, you ain't even been in that drawer in months. Okay? But yet the drawer is still full of junk. So, papers and books. Now, books, you could be starting a library. Books are useful, but with other things that you don't need, the stuff that's hanging on either end of your closet, you ain't touched it, you ain't seen it. 9 times out of 10, it may not even be your style anymore. How many of us have things that are in our drawers we have things that are in bins that are tucked away, of things that we don't use, things that we're not going to use, yet it's still sitting. It's just sitting, taking up space. You want to prepare yourself for your next level. Start looking at things where start looking at things that you can either give away or things that you can throw away. If you can give it away, if you can sell it, that's fine too. But you want to get yourself in this space of relieving yourself of the things that you no longer need, you no longer can use, and pass it on to someone who can use it. If you take stock, if you look around your environment, you will see that you are much more abundant than what you think you are. And you may not need to hold on to as much stuff as you hold on to. So yeah, that's the message is really, when you're trying to come out of a lack mindset, start looking at how you can downsize or minimize or even make use of the things that you haven't been using. Maybe you can make use of them by giving them away to someone else who could actually use the things that you don't need. Also, a good sale is a good sale, but that doesn't mean that you have to go buy 5 items of the very same thing just because it's on sale, when you already got 3 of them in your pantry, 3 of them in the cabinet. You already got 3. Now you just added 5 more to it. Now you got 8, and you haven't even gotten through the very first one yet. So it's things like that Spirit wants you to be mindful of when this expansion comes in. You have to make room. I think that's what this message is about too. It's about making room. It's about relieving yourself of old things so that new things can come in. I think that's the message right there. Lack doesn't always look like something is missing. In some respects, lack can be you stocking, like stockpiling of things. That can also contribute to a lack mindset too, because you're stockpiling because maybe you feel like you may never catch this sale again, or maybe you feel like you can never have too much, or like contact cases, the contact lens cases. That's not one of those things that you can never have too much of. So it's just something to think about. Those are the examples that came to me, but I'm pretty sure that there are other examples. And when you look around your environment, you may also see that you are really not in lack. You really are abundant and overflowing at the seams. But if you want to continue the flow of overflow, then you have to be willing to part with what you no longer need, what you have an excess of. Okay, that's it. That's the message.